Welcome to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the longest-running Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
We're always in control, and when you say Miami, you're talking cerebral. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
Hello, Miami Dolphins fans. How are you today? And thank you for listening to the Dolphins Talk post-game wrap-up show on this Sunday, October 5th. The Dolphins just fell to the Carolina Panthers 27-24. Boy, there's a lot to unpack and talk about with this one. This one might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Tom, how you doing today? Tom, it's an audio show. You got to
I'm good. Fire everyone.
Well, we know that. We know that.
Fire everyone. This is brutal. Just looking at it from, just with the game ending, this defense and offensive line, zero push, zero grit, couldn't run the ball, couldn't stop the run. It's an abomination. And this team is I think soft, if not worse than they were last year when it comes to trench play. They are an embarrassment to football.
Yeah.
Awful.
And honestly, and we'll probably talk about this as we get into the show, I know you never want to see your team lose. But if you're a fan of this team, they ain't going nowhere, this is the best outcome. Because the sooner they just bottom out, the sooner some of these people just get fired. And it just needs to happen. And we're going to talk about that all in today's show. But before we get there, let's get the business stuff out of the way first. This show is brought to you by Caneswear. Everyone go to the website, caneswear.com, for the best and most affordable Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet. If you also want stuff for the Miami Hurricanes, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Heat, the Miami Marlins, Caneswear.com, Caneswear.com, Caneswear.com. They got the best and most affordable apparel for all the teams in South Florida on the internet. Go to that website first. If you're in South Florida, like we will be next week, we're going to stop by their shop at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Go to Caneswear.com. To Caneswear.com, though they have it all. Shout out to everyone watching live at the I Am in Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page. Kudos to them and the great Carlos Hernandez in charge of that. Dolphins Talk Extra. Look, I know the Dolphins season's bad, but here's why you got to sign for Dolphins Talk Extra. We have podcasts not about the Dolphins. We have a private message board that's way better than Twitter if you want to talk to other fans. It's a little bit more chill and laid back. Contest where we give away autographs of some of the players you like from the past, like Cameron Wake, Jarvis Landry. So we give away a bunch of stuff. It's a cool environment, and we talk about other stuff aside from the Dolphins. So patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. And if you're watching this live on YouTube right now, and I see a lot of you are, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And yes, super chats are open. If there's something you want to get off your chest, this is the show, the next 45 minutes or so to do it. Leave us a super chat at the end of the show. We will put it on the screen and give you priority with your comments. So super chats are open. Tom, injury-wise, not much from this game, although Tyrell Dotson has a concussion. That's pretty much it. I know Cornell Armstrong left as well, but I don't think that really matters too much, although I hope he has a speedy recovery. So nothing much on the news front with injuries. Jalen Wright was a healthy scratch. Read into that what you will. So I'll start with you. Get it off your chest. What are your thoughts on the Dolphins losing 27-24 and blowing a 17-0 lead in this game to a horrible, miserable, awful Carolina Panthers team?
Well, you summarized it. Terrible, awful, all in the same breath is how you can summarize the Carolina Panthers. But what does that make the Miami Dolphins? Holy shit. This game started 17-0. Like there was nothing the Dolphins couldn't do wrong. And then everything just fell apart. They couldn't run the football. And then the Carolina Panthers got pressure up the middle on that offensive line. Tua had no time. Tua was making some errant throws, throwing off his back foot. A lot of it has to do with the pressure, right? He was fine at the beginning of the game, and then everything falls apart. When you're playing behind the sticks as the 2025 Miami Dolphins, you cannot make up the yardage that you do not get on first and second down. When you're playing from 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, it's much easier for this offense to continue to move the football. This isn't the same Dolphins that we were watching from 2-3 years ago when you can pick up 3rd and 16 like it was nothing. This team is an abomination, and it was set up by Chris Greer. There is no secondary. There's guys running wide open from the second quarter on in this football game. Jack Jones, I don't even know if there's a nice way to say it, but that man, all he does is grab and pull. Grab and pull. It's like he's a degenerate gambler at an old school Vegas slot machine. Grab and pull. Grab and pull. It is unbelievable that there is no push. As much as we touted, this front seven is going to be pretty damn good this year. They've got a lot of talent. They get no pass rush without blitzing, and they do not stop the run at all, period. They cannot stop it. Rico Dowdle, ladies and gentlemen, 200 plus yards of rushing today. 200 plus. That is one of the core reasons why the Miami Dolphins lost this football game. Kenneth Grant. Okay, he's a rookie. We're 5 games in. Can we just be real here? He's not very good right now. He's got time to develop. I understand that. He is not very good. He is getting blown off the football left and right. And the teams that the Dolphins are playing are just running it right up the middle, right in between the tackles. They have no fear whatsoever. And the ghost of Christian Wilkins isn't walking through the door to solve any of the problems either. So we can stop that kind of chatter that I saw on social media. The Dolphins were in a position to get to 2-3 with a home game coming up against an AFC opponent. Now they sit 1-4 with less than a 5% chance to make the postseason based on being 1-4. But guess what? They're probably going to be 1-5 next week. Might as well start stacking up the Marion Hampton tickets for next week to rush for 150 to 200 yards of offense just from him, because it's a joke. And once again, Stephen Ross, he's going to be patient. He's going to be patient. Wait till next week when that stadium is jam-packed with powder blue jerseys chanting, "Let's go Chargers," in Stephen Ross's house. And if they get their doors blown off next week against the Chargers, against Justin Herbert, with the Dolphins passed on, that could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. But it's the Dolphins. Status quo is just fine with me, Mike. Just fine.
Yeah, that's a problem. It all starts with the owner, that he doesn't care, unfortunately. Or he doesn't care enough, or he's got an odd way of showing it. Miami got up early 17-0 in this game. The Carolina Panthers saw what Miami was going to do. The Panthers then adjusted and pretty much shut Miami down up until that last long touchdown to Waddle, which was the only play they made in the second half. And this game pretty much laid it out there that when teams now sort of adjust and sort of, pick up on how they're going to run this offense without Hill, and Hill's not there to bail them out, this team's dead in the water. Tua, he had 2 chances late in the game. One of the drives he came through and he hit the big touchdown, which is great. But then on the next one, it was nothing. And, and don't even get me started on the head coach punting the ball with like a minute or so to go. It's like, did you think you were going to get a stop with a minute or so to go? You haven't stopped him since midway through the second quarter. And he punts the ball with a minute. You weren't going to stop him. You got to go for it there. Because even if you don't get it, they're just going to take a knee and the game's over anyways. That was atrocious. Let me talk about some good, and it's very little. Waller was fantastic again. He's a mismatch for every opponent we play. He is better than Jonnu Smith. Let me say this again. Waller is better than Jonnu Smith. He brings more to the table. I wish he could go more than 16, 17, 18, 19 snaps a game, but it is what it is. Waller has been fantastic. Last week versus Jets, or I guess that was this week on Monday versus Jets, and also again today. Achane couldn't get much on the ground today. Not sure that's his fault, but great catch in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. So love seeing that. And I think they're going to have to run the ball a little better, obviously. I mean, they almost ran it for nothing today. But Achane in the passing game, I think he's going to be the guy that really replaces Hill. So there's that. That's pretty much the only thing I can say about this game that's good. The offensive line's is hot garbage. And let's start with the second-round pick, Jonah Savainea. Look, he's really bad. There's just no way around this. He's really bad. And hopefully, maybe next week, Andrew Meyer can come off IR. And if he does, bench Jonah and play him. Now, you could make a case. They got a bench who's ever playing at right guard. I would just bench Jonah. Jonah looks overmatched. He's overwhelmed. This is why, and I'm going to tie this back. Every year around draft time, you got these guys on Twitter who don't watch college football all year. All of a sudden they're draft experts. Twitter guys are draft experts. I'm watching tape. No, that means you're watching YouTube highlights. And they raved about Jonas Savainea. They raved. I don't care how many picks we got to give up to get him. He's the best. Well, they listened to you. Now the guy can't play. And, I know it's only 5 games. Maybe he'll improve. But I'm telling you, he looks so bad through 5 games. This might be Liam Eichenberg 2.0. This might be Liam Eichenberg 2.0. It's that bad. There's a picture which I shared on social media, him literally standing, looking at his quarterback being sacked because he couldn't stop the guy in the first half. So stop. Savainea is bad. They're all bad, but he's the worst of the worst right now. So next April, when it's time for the draft, the same people who are wrong every year about this stuff, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Cole Strange, he stinks too. So, if you want to replace him with Meyer, go for it, but I would replace Jonah. The time we go to the other line, it ain't any better. Grant, Mark Schlereth sitting in a booth who hasn't watched one game of the Dolphins all year. Yeah, he plays too high. He gets no leverage. He's easy to push off the line. Everyone can see it. Do they tell the kid this? And which I'm sure they are. He might just not be listening, but he ain't playing well. Jones ain't playing well. Nose tackle. That's not a shock. He's stinking. I don't know why they re-signed him. And opponents are putting 2 people on Zach Sealer. You can see Zach's getting frustrated. He got called today for a holding penalty. He's trying. But when we had Wilkins, when we had Campbell, Zach Sealer saw man-to-man matchups. He made plays. This year, teams are just going to put 2 guys on Zach Sealer and say, let someone else beat us, and we ain't got Bupkis. Nobody else can beat him. So we're screwed there. They're not going to get any better on defense. Jack Jones, I can't get mad at Jack Jones. He shouldn't be starting in this league. We have an incompetent organization who signed this guy and thought he could start. It's not Jack Jones's fault. He's trying. He shouldn't be in that situation. He's a 3rd or 4th corner at best. He shouldn't be in this situation. Rico Dow looked like Jim Brown today. Miami couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't tackle anybody anyways. They never do. As I said, last week versus the Jets, nice to beat a rival at home. Like the win. Be excited, but don't be fooled. This team was handed a game by the Jets who had 100 yards in penalties, and they had a quarterback who couldn't throw the ball. Today, the Panthers didn't hand them 100 yards in penalties, and Young is slightly better than Fields. Slightly is a key word. And Miami they lost. This is the worst defense in the NFL. And Mike McDaniel, again, punting with a minute left. To me, that's a fireable offense. To me. You hadn't stopped them since midway through the second quarter. What made you think you were going to punt and stop them 3 and out, use your timeout to get the ball back? That's just, you got to be an idiot. You got to be an idiot. And he is an idiot. He's bad at his job. And one last thing, Tom, if you're watching Mr. Ross or someone in his family's watching, which you actually know someone in his family, someone in his family's watching, please send him this message. Show us you care. Between now and Monday morning at 9-10 a.m., someone's got to go. I don't care who it is. Look, I know we all want everyone to go, and I think we will have our wish in time. But in the next, next 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, give me a head coach, a GM, a coordinator. Just fire somebody to show me you care a little bit. That's all I want. Throw a salvo out there. You know what? Someone's got to go. I don't care if it's Frank Smith. I don't care if it's Anthony Weaver. I don't care if it's the quarterback. Fire anybody. Just fire one person to say this is unacceptable. We just lost to the Carolina Panthers in a game we were up 17-0. I know you want to give it time, Mr. Ross. And you don't want to be known as the owner who just fires people left and right. Anyone who says it about you is dumb, because look what you've done with Chris Greer. You kept him around here forever. In 9 years as general manager, no one thinks it's a knee-jerk reaction. And with Mike McDaniel, the record is what the record is. you can let go of a coordinator, pick somebody, I don't know, but someone has to go after this loss.
I agree. It's time. I mean, even if they just fire the guy that's been suspended from the team for the shit he did off the field, fire him. Just do
fire
something.
him. Do something. Just something. Send a message that you care a little. Just one message. I don't even care. It's not about, look, they're all going to be gone. So people say, well, they got to fire Greg Goff. They're all going to be gone. It's just a matter of, so as fans, we got to wait it out. If they want to get rid of, like, you know, one of the big names now, McDaniel, great. No one's going to be upset. But if they want to just ride this out, because it doesn't matter, honestly. And honestly, our path to the top pick of the draft is keeping Mike McDaniel in place, I think. Maybe not the top pick, but like a top 5 pick or a top 3 pick. Just leave him there. But fire, pick a coach. I don't even care which coach. Ryan Crow, like you said, just fire somebody so the fans know that you care. Because right now the fans don't think you care. And really, as much as the fans are upset with Greer, as much as the fans are upset with McDaniel, they're more upset with you as the owner because they think fans, us, care more than you, and you actually own the team. That's the problem.
Yep. There's got to be something, Mike, you know, because next week, guess what? There's another banner that's going to be flying over that stadium at 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., whatever time it's going to fly over. There's going to be another one flying over the stadium, and they can say whatever they want, whether it's the quarterback, the head coach, the general. They see it. They see it. They just choose to avoid it. But guess who's not avoiding it? Fans. We've had enough of the mediocrity of the Miami Dolphins for 25 years. There is no playoff victories to speak of for 25 years, and it's going to continue into next season because the Dolphins can't beat the Carolina Panthers after they're up 17-0. Undisciplined football, soft as hell in the trenches, bad offensive line play, and you lost your top talented player for the season, and it showed. Panthers are not scared of you. Jalen Waddle, great game. Can't say enough about Jalen Waddle. He was fantastic in this game. But there's nobody else. Nobody else. It's like 2021 all over again. Jalen Waddle and a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're not any good. I mean, we kind of saw this like way back when, back in March and April. I'm like, we're just letting guys go, which is fine. I understand guys like Holland and Ramsey and such were, you know, causing issues behind the scene. I get it. I totally get it. But you couldn't sign anyone to try and replace him. And I'm sorry, Ashton Davis and Feli Malafano aren't guys to replace guys like Holland. Like, those are just guys who are out there because they're always hurt and they stink. And they didn't make a serious move to replace anyone in the secondary. I know they got all the money being eaten up in, you know, Howard and Ramsey, and Cam Smith's not here anymore, and Noah's a mispick, but it's like, you got to try. And then on the offensive line, they signed one guy coming off an injury. And like, now we address the trenches. No, you didn't. You didn't address the trenches. You didn't address the trenches. Like, they say this stuff with a straight face, and then they get annoyed at the media. Like, why are you even asking about this? It's like, why? Because look at this roster. It stinks. We had this week, Steve Weiss from the NFL Network spoke with Marissa. He said, I don't understand what they did. They just let everyone walk. They didn't try to replace anybody. It's like, everyone sees it. I know there's a segment of fans of the Dolphins who are brainwashed by this organization and who try to spin everything positive after they beat the Jets on Tuesday morning. One of the first things I see on social media. Oh, everyone get off Mike McDaniel. He's not on the hot seat anymore. What are you, nuts? We're 1-3. He's not in the hot seat anymore. He's still in the hot seat. Talk to me when we get to late, you know, week 17, 18. Then if he's over 500, we'll have a conversation if he's not. He's on the hot seat. He should be fired. He's one of the worst coaches in the NFL. One of the worst coaches in the NFL. And it was on display again today in that stupid punt with a minute ago. It's like, this guy stinks. Can I change the topic for 1 second? Let's bring something up a little more positive, because we've been awful down, and I know fans are mad. We got over like a few thousand people here. They're all mad. Everyone's mad. I get it. This announcer today for Fox, Eric Collins, might be the greatest play-by-play announcer in America today. This guy, and I know fans say, or I guess he works for the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA, and I guess He's like this all the time. I hate the NBA. I'm never going to watch the NBA, and I damn sure ain't watching the Hornets if I do decide to watch an NBA game. So I've never heard of the guy, didn't know anything about this guy. This guy took a game with two garbage teams playing for literally nothing and made this seem like the Super Bowl. He was awesome. Fox needs to promote Eric Collins like the number 3 team or even higher. I know he's not number 1, but number 2 team. This guy was fantastic. He brought energy and excitement to both teams. He didn't favor one side or the other. When Miami was up 17-0, putting up that lead, he was going nuts. Or Waller with a touchdown. Yeah, but he was going nuts for Miami. Then when it turned over to the Panthers, he was going nuts for the Panthers. This guy deserves a raise. He should be working every big game for Fox. Eric Collins of Fox, kudos to you. You made this horrible game seem enjoyable on some level. I loved every minute of it. People on social media are like, I don't even want to watch this game, but this guy's making me want to watch it. Fans of, various other teams. This guy was great today, Tom.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It reminded me of young Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson still does the same type of calls that he's done for the last 10 years.
He's not as over
but
the top.
This guy was better than Gus Johnson.
Oh, better.
No. Gus Johnson loses his voice on a 1-yard reception at the minus, inside the 5-yard line on 1st and 10 for the offense.
Wisconsin, Iowa in the first half.
This guy was good.
My God. Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
No, it was enjoyable. It actually was tolerable to listen to the broadcast with how bad it was. And, for me watching this, I started to just hate watch throughout the second half of the game. And it's just it's the same old Dolphins. Shout out to Aaron and Josh. It's the same old Dolphins every single time they're in this position. They could have put the nail in the coffin on this team, and this announcer probably would have still Miami could have been up 30-0, and he would have been putting 10-yard out pass from Bryce Young to Ted McMillan like it was the greatest play in the Super Bowl. So kudos to him. I agree. He should be getting a job. I mean, they do have to replace Mark Sanchez at some point. So that's another story.
Yeah. But, I got to put up this comment. What did I say a few weeks ago? I was going to do a thing called worst tweet of the week. I go, you know what? Let's be nice to people. Let's not put people on blast. But I said, if you say something dumb in our comments when we're live on the air, you're going to be called out for dumb comment of the day. Here's a dumb comment of the day from Richie, who's a Mets fan. So you got larger issues in your life. Why are you guys wasting your lives worrying about this failed organization and this failed league? Seriously, I don't know why you're watching us. If we're wasting our lives, here's why. We're making money doing this show. Why are you watching us for free? That's your dumb comment of the day from Richie, the Mets fan. How you Mets doing? Take care, spike your hair. All right, let's go on to this game, Tom. That is a dumb comment.
Take care, spike your hair. That might be one of the greatest little comments I've ever heard. Take care, spike your hair.
Take care, spike your hair. Guys, watching us. Tell me I'm wasting my life.
Dolphins open up the game with a field goal. 11 plays, 48 yards. The drive did stall out. Dolphins did get a field goal from Riley Patterson. We've been talking about this on the weekly, Mike. Jason Sanders eligible to come off IR really this week. They've kept him on there unless his injury's that serious. I don't think we see Jason Sanders at all this year. Riley Patterson has been pretty good for the Dolphins.
I mean, what's the point? I mean, seriously, why bring Sanders back to play this miserable year? Patterson, this is going to be a Wally Pipp situation. I think we've seen the last of Jason Sanders in Miami. This Patterson, through all the bad, if you just cut out all the wins, losses, he's a kicker. He got one job, make kicks. He's made every kick. He's been great, and he costs far less money. And if I only have 8 spots to bring back certain players from IR, I'm not wasting one on a kicker when the season's over anyways.
Right. After the Dolphins get the field goal, the big play on the Panthers opening drive after a 29-yard pass to Ted McMillan on 2nd and 7 from the Dolphins 30-yard line. Bryce Young is sacked by Bradley Chubb and recovered by Bradley Chubb. It just looked like Bryce Young just dropped the football. He saw Bradley Chubb breathing down his neck. He just okay, I don't want any part of this here. You have it.
He did.
which kind of set the tone for the game, Mike. I was like, if Bryce Young's just literally handing the football to the Miami Dolphins, he wants no part of this football game, and the Dolphins have to take advantage of it. But it was a good play by Bryce Young to just give the football to the Dolphins.
Yeah. Chubb has been in the right spot at the right time a few times this year. He's actually the only pass rusher who's played well. So Chubb just, he did what he was supposed to do. Hopped on the football. Can't knock that. Great play by Chubb.
Yep. The Dolphins get it inside the 5-yard line before the end of the first quarter. And Mike McDaniel says, let's run a play for a 5-yard loss to Malik Washington on a little shuttle pass. That set the Dolphins back 3rd and goal from the 10, but Tua did find Devon Achane, who made a tremendous back corner catch, getting both feet down, and the Dolphins went up 10-0. Stupid play call from Mike McDaniel. Mike first, and then second, Devon Achane with a great reception.
Achane, that was a great reception. That's a great one for a wide receiver, and when you factor in he's just a running back, it truly is amazing how good he is. That was a big time catch.
After the Dolphins touchdown to go up 10-0, Bryce Young on 2nd and 6 airmails a throw to Xavier Legette, and it was intercepted by Mika Fitzpatrick, who returned it to the Carolina 49-yard line. And the Dolphins were in business, Mike, up 10-0, and they made him pay one more time. Darren Waller with a 4-yard touchdown reception. And with 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the second quarter, the Miami Dolphins were up 17-0.
Yeah, this would have been a nice time to stop the game.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's take everyone on.
Feels mad and someone would have already quit the game.
It's like the old story, which is a true story. When Lee Corso was the head coach at Indiana in like the 70s, Indiana wasn't any good. They clearly wasn't as good as Michigan. So they're playing Michigan in the big house. They get the ball first. They head down the field and score Indiana. They have a 7-0 lead at Michigan. Lee Corso, before the kickoff, calls timeout, calls the entire team on the field with the team photographer, and had him take a picture where they could shoot up and get a picture of the team and the scoreboard that said Indiana 7, Michigan nothing. And he's like, okay, now we can get back to play the game, because he wanted a picture to prove that they had a lead at Michigan. Like, that's what Miami should have done here. Like, okay, we're up 17-0. Everyone on the field, timeout, take a picture, show the scoreboard. Okay, now we can go back and play, because we know how it's going to end.
Yep. The Panthers do get a touchdown on a 12-play drive. The big play was a 21-yard pass play to Tet McMillan on 4th and 5 that kept the drive going. And on 3rd and 4, Bryce Young found Xavier Legette on a really nice route and throw for a touchdown. And it was 17-7. And then kind of the wheels fell off, Mike. The Dolphins went 3 and out and punted. After the punt, the Panthers do get a field goal to end the half. 11 plays, 59 yards, 17-10 at halftime, Mike.
Yeah, I got nothing more to add. This team stinks. So it's halftime. You know what that means. MyBookie.com. That's right. If you're going to place your bets, we still got some games going on right now. If you're watching live at the 4:30 games, you got tonight, Patriots, Bills, Monday night, Jacksonville versus Kansas City. Or if you want to bet any of the Major League Baseball games, MyBookie.com. Use a promo code Dolphins, and make sure you click on that bet back bonus token. Here's why you want to click on the bet back bonus token, because if you lose your first bet that you place with MyBookie, as long as you click on the bet back bonus token, you get your money back. You can bet again. It's like the first bet never happened. So even if you bet at one of these other sites, one of these other apps that we all know the big ones, you should at least place one bet with MyBookie.com, because if you lose the bet, first off, if you win, great, you just made money. Hello. But if you lose, you get to, it's like it never happened, and you get to bet again. So everyone should go to MyBookie.com, use the promo code Dolphins, and click on the bet back bonus token with your first bet, because if you lose, you get your money back like it never happened. Free money. You literally have nothing to lose with one bet, and you might as well go all in and try to win. So MyBookie.com.
The second half opens up with the Panthers getting the ball, and Rico Dowdle immediately goes for 53 yards. Just head scratching. Gets it to the 17-yard line, but the Dolphins defense did a great job. Jalen Phillips gets a sack on 3rd down to force a field goal attempt. It is 17-13. Folks, we don't have much to talk about here in the third quarter. Dolphins 3 and out. Panthers 4 and out. punt, 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 punt. And the Panthers in the fourth quarter get a 7-play, 85-yard drive for a touchdown that ended on a 1-yard run from Rico Dowdle. The Panthers took the lead, Mike, down 17-0, go up 20-17.
Yeah, I mean, we can't stop the run. I mean, there's just no other way around it. They can't stop the run. It's a group effort. You got guys who can't set the edge. They got guys up front like Jones who isn't any good. Grant right now is struggling. You know, again, just like I said with Jonah, you don't want to say a guy playing his 5th game ever. You know, he stinks. He's a bust. But this can be a big work in progress. This is a heavy lift here to get him ready. He's not playing like a guy who should have been picked 13th overall. He's just not. He's just not. So that's not going to be fixed this year. Every team we play is going to run down our throats. It's going to get uglier before it gets – well, it's not going to get any better this year. But just think about this. Last week versus the Jets, they averaged 7 yards per rush against us. Today, the Panthers averaged 8.5 yards per rush. In the first half versus the Bills, they were averaging 9 yards a rush against us.
You can't win football games that way.
It's embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
You're getting moved off the ball that easily.
I mean, yeah, it's you know, and then when you're also, you know, not any good in the secondary, it makes it. I don't know how you win. As I said, outside of the Jets and probably this Panthers game today and the Saints game, I look at every game on our schedule like we have no chance to win. You know, some people say, well, we can beat Cleveland or Atlanta. No, we can't. Myles Garrett is going to absolutely destroy our offensive line by himself. And the Browns aren't half bad. Atlanta at home's halfway decent. They're not awful. You know, you look at some of these other teams on the schedule, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, by the time we get them, they'll be halfway decent. The Bills, Washington, even the Ravens, they'll probably have back their quarterback by then. He'll run for a zillion yards against us. Every game on our schedule outside of Jets and Saints, we got no chance. Got no chance. This is a 3 to 4 win team. Well, now it's down to 3. This is a 3-win team at best. And there's no sure thing they're going to beat the Saints or Jets. Believe you me, that's not a sure thing. They almost lost to the Jets last week, and they gave us 100 yards and penalties. Christ, the game came down to an onside kick. We got to go play them there. Yeah, this is going to get worse, folks, before it gets better. That's why I was laughing last week. Mike McDaniel's not in the hot seat. Okay, he's not in the hot seat because he beat the Jets at home. Like, come on, folks, open your eyes. Can't be that much of a blind homer.
Malik Washington showed a little grit on the next kickoff, though, taking it 40 yards. Looked like he shed like 6 tacklers, and he kept moving his legs. You know, we can't say enough about Malik Washington. They need to get him more involved offensively as a receiver because he does make guys miss and he does shed tackles. But clearly they don't like using him. They like using Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, who doesn't get any targets. The drive opened up with 2 back-to-back passes to Devon Achane, and then a big throw from Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle, who was running free up the seam, and a 46-yard touchdown pass brought the Dolphins up 24-20. That's what we needed to see, Mike. We needed to see Jalen Waddle get loose on a deep ball, and Tua connected with him for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played okay today. I thought Waddle was fine today. He made the plays when he needed to. He had 6 receptions, 110 yards, touchdown, 9 targets, so he caught 6 of 9. He was fine. He's not the problem. I mean, you know, we know what the problem is. 1, they can't stop anyone on defense. 2, the offensive line really isn't that good. And even though he wasn't the problem today, per se, the quarterback in general, all season he's been a problem. Although not necessarily his fault today. So I want to give him 1 week off of some blame. But in the big picture, he has been a problem.
Yes. Dolphins got the Panthers at 4th and 5 from their own 33. And Jimmy Horn ran wide open for a 17-yard completion and a first down. And then a Mitchell Evans touchdown reception just at the 2-minute warning gave the Panthers the 27-24 lead. And then, of course, the Dolphins incomplete pass from Tua to Jalen Waddle, incomplete pass Tua to Jalen Waddle, and then Tua took a sack on 3rd and 10. You just can't do it. You got to throw that ball, get out of the tackle box, which it looked like he did, and just throw that ball out of bounds so you fight for 4th and 10. And instead on 4th and 17 from their 15-yard line with 3 timeouts, Mike McDaniel punted the ball away to a team that had over 200-plus yards rushing to that point in the football game. So, in typical fashion, you get them to 3rd and 5, and on a throw to, let me just check my glasses here, Hunter Renfrow, Jack Jones interfered, I'm going to say it again, interfered with Hunter Renfrow to finish the game. And the Miami Dolphins drop one to the Carolina Panthers. They are now 1-4 on the season. The season was already on the brink 2 weeks ago. The season is starting to look like that submarine that absolutely disintegrated in the Atlantic. It's over. There's no hope.
It was over before.
Can't sell. Oh, yeah, 100% was. But this one, poof, done.
Yeah, this one puts a nail in the coffin right here, because if you, once again, like at the top of the show when you said, they could have got to 2-3 with a home game, and then who knows what happens. Maybe you get to 500. It's like, hey, we're at 500. And you know what? People could all had to zip their lip. They're at 500. Let's see what happens. But no. I mean, and it's not like they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not like they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not like they lost to the Lions or the Bills or San Francisco's pretty good or the Rams. They lost to the Carolina Panthers with a backup running back that ran for 200 yards to a team that they had a 17-zip lead on versus a quarterback who wasn't any good. I mean, there's only a couple quarterbacks probably worse than ours in the league. He one of them, but he found a way to win. I mean, he found a way to win. It's just this team is so poorly coached on both offense and defense. Like, I haven't seen what Mike McDaniel said after the game. We'll probably be talking about that on Wednesday. I know, but we'll probably be talking about this on Wednesday's show. To me, this, when they beat the Jets, they go, look, everyone's safe for a bit, for at least a week, because it's a short week. You're not going to fire anyone on a week, whatever. Now all bets are off. Like, they can fire anyone they want at any time. All bets are off. The season's over. They're not going nowhere. If they find a way to win next week versus the Chargers, do not fall for the false hope, because they'll probably go out there the following week and lose to Atlanta. Like, this team is not going to come close to 500. They are so close to the first pick of the draft right now. The only thing now, because the Saints won today, thank God, between us and the first pick of the draft are the Jets. That's it. Like, you watch these other games, teams that aren't any good. Cleveland, God, they could be like 4-1. They, almost won today, almost won week 1. Like, they've almost won a bunch of games. You look at a team like the Saints, almost won last week at the Bills. They were in that game late. They lost, but then they come out today and win. Like, these teams that are kind of like around us, like, aside from the Jets, who are clearly worse, like, we're as bad as any of them. Like, we have a legitimate shot to be picking 1 or 2 in this draft. And I don't want to get into it. There's no, well, who are you going to take? We're not having a quarterback talk today, but the point is, if you're not going to be good, you might as well be really bad. And that's what we need to kind of, I hate to say it, hope for right now, because if we bottom out, which we don't, look, they don't need any help to bottom out. Let's leave Mike McDaniel there, bottom out in his own. The guy can't coach. That's what we're going to be looking at here in a few weeks. We're going to be, 1-4 is going to go to 1-5. We're going to go to 1-6. Going to go to 1-7. Going to go to 1-8, and it's going to snowball. And once you get to like 1-7, once you get to 1-8, that's when the players start thinking about the offseason. Start like, well, should I really dive in on this tackle? No. I'll put an arm out like I'm trying. People are going to start mailing it in because they know the head coach soon will be gone. They know that the general manager is probably going to be gone. And when those two are gone and new people are coming in, that means I'm going to be gone. And not me. I'm talking about the player. I'm probably going to be gone. So we're going to be at that spot here soon. Yes, someone in our chat. We have to watch out for the Titans. Titans are a threat to also pick one. They stink too. Man, Ward's awful. So yeah, that's That's where we're going to be at real soon. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It really is. And this is a tough one to lose, Tom. I got to be honest with you. I mean, the Panthers, they stink. The Panthers stink. I mean, it really cements that they're bad Miami. The Panthers stink.
Yep. All right. Team stats. Carolina, 26 first downs. Miami, 15. Yeah, we still got to do that. Panthers, 5-11 on third down. Dolphins, 5 for 13. Panthers 2 for 2 on fourth, Miami 1 for 1. The Panthers ran 65 plays for a grand total of 418 yards of total offense on 11 drives. Miami 53 plays, 248 on 10 drives. Carolina 6.4 yards per play, Miami 4.7. The quarterbacks in this game, Bryce Young 19 of 30. For 198 yards. He did throw the interception. He did have a couple touchdowns. He averaged 5.4 yards per pass. Tua Tagovailoa, 27 of 36 for 256 yards. No turnovers. 3 touchdown passes. Sacked 3 times. Lost the game. Rushing attempts, 32 carries for the Panthers for 239 yards. Let me repeat that. 32 carries for 239 yards, 7.5 per clip. The Dolphins had 14, we'll call them attempts, because that's really what they were. They attempted to run only 14 times, only got 19 yards on the ground. That's your ball game, really, folks. The Dolphins up 17-0, couldn't run the ball to kill clock. That's how bad it was. Penalties, 9 for 64 for Miami, 8 for 46 for Carolina. The Panthers turned the ball over twice and won the football game by 3. Time of possession, 31-14 for Carolina, 28-46 for the Miami Dolphins. Mike, who gets your game ball?
Okay, pause for a second. I got the Mike McDaniel quote that's going to drive you nuts. And it should drive every Dolphins fan nuts. Mike McDaniel at his post-game press conference said, preparation and executions were key reasons why the Miami Dolphins lost today. We thought we were prepared for this, and we clearly weren't. Mike, you haven't been prepared for one game all year. If the Jets didn't give you 100 yards in penalties, you would have lost at home last week too. Shut up and go away. Okay, let's game ball. I haven't even looked. I'll go Waddle, 6 for 110 and a touchdown. Waddle stepped up. I think he's going to be fine. I know I'm not in the popular thought process. I think he'll be fine as a number 1 wide receiver. I know this isn't a game to go off because it's a horrible team. Let's see what he does the rest of the way. I think he's going to be fine as a number 1. Now, look, you got to get a way better number 2 next year and stuff like that, but I think he'll be okay as a number 1. He gets a game ball. Waddle.
Yep. Waddle gets it for you. Waller gets it for me. 5 catches on 5 targets for 78 yards. Whatever it is that's continuing to hold him back to be on the field more, he really needs to get on the field more because he does make a huge difference. And because of his ability, especially in the first quarter and a half, being on the football field, the Dolphins offense, the Panthers couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop him. And then Waller didn't see a target after really the second quarter. So he gets my game ball. It sucks that we don't see him enough on the field. Maybe it's, maybe it is his health. Maybe it's just stupid and likes to play Julian Hill and Tanner Connor more. I wouldn't put it past.
Well, again, this is where we're not there yet, although, you think we are. I think we are. Most fans who are smart think we are. We're like 1 or 2 games away from just being like play the kids. So in a few weeks, if we're like 1-7, it's like, why are we throwing him out there, Waller? Just so we get hurt again? Because maybe he'll stay for next year too. Let's not get him hurt this year for next year. But it's bad. It's bad. So I don't know how much more there is to add. We lost. It's a lost season. Now we got the Chargers next week. Hey, here's the thing. And I know, if you want to see change, don't show up. But most people already have hotels booked, flights booked, and are heading to the game next week. Guess what? Same here for Tom and myself. We're going to be down there next week. So if you want to meet up, have a drink, say hi, We're going to be out and about at a few places. You know how to message us. You can reach out to him on Twitter at his Twitter handle, or you can reach out to me at mine. And we can, have a drink and cry together about this team. But yeah, Miami loses 27-24. Not looking good. Season's over. And now it's just more of a drama of when people start getting fired instead of if they get fired. Follow Tom on social media at DolphinsTalk Tom. Okay, Tom, go ahead. You got something to add?
I do.
Go.
We have a super.
Oh, the super chat. I forgot. Yes.
From Fish Pilot.
Fish Pilot. Spend your money however you want.
That's exactly what we were just talking about.
Just what we're talking about. But if you give $1 to this team, you're part of the problem. Yes, Fish Pilot, you're 100% right. But again, I understand because we're in that boat. We have our flights booked. We already have stuff made. You just can't cancel last second. But yes, the sentiment is there. If we lived in South Florida, trust me, it'd be different. If we lived in South Florida, we wouldn't have to fly, get a hotel. We wouldn't be there.
This is a nice vacation for me. That's a nice vacation.
That's how I said it. I said it on the show last week with Doug. I go, look, I'm not letting this team ruin my vacation to South Florida. We're going to go to South Florida. We're going to drink. We're going to eat. We're going to see some stuff. We're going to have some fun in South Florida. And the game is absolutely secondary. This game is absolutely secondary next week versus the Chargers. We're going to enjoy a nice weekend, a guys' weekend in South Florida. So if you're down there and you want to see us, by all means, reach it. We're going to do it. Probably do it on Friday. I don't know if probably because from the time we land to the time we can check into the hotel, we have time in between, as long as there's no delays, knock on wood. We'll probably shoot something Friday. If not Friday, then Saturday for sure. We are going to do Publix content. And for those who don't know, longtime listeners know we've talked about this. If you're a member of the extra platform, again, patreon.com/DolphinsTalk, it's often talked about there. We're shooting Publix content next week, I promise. But check out the website, subscribe to the podcast, smash the like button, put up comments. You know what to do. Everyone have a great Sunday night. We'll talk to you again after a while. And don't forget, even though this team drives us nuts, when you're on the road, we must put an end to highway profanity.
Fins up.